Coming up on this hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, Texas Democrats have left the state to prevent the rewriting of the state's congressional maps. Scripps News Group Joe St. George will join us with the latest.
Plus, Corpus Christi police investigating two separate shootings that happened over the weekend. We have the details.
A vacant position has sparked controversy in Beeville. I'm Victoria Valderrama. I'll tell you what City Council plans to do with its assistant police chief position.
Good morning, folks. Happy Monday and welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. You're waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. I know, start of the week might be dragging a little bit, but hey, it's going to be a great one. I could feel it. It's going to be, like Michelle calls it, that warm hug outside because it's going to get hot. To talk more on that and the roadways, Miss Julia Quady is standing by. Good morning, Julia.
Hey there. Good morning, you guys. And it's going to be like a warm hug stepping outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I usually call it like a weighted blanket, especially with that humidity.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going to feel that as we saw near record or record high temperatures over this past weekend. And we're going to probably be in for more of those same conditions ahead for us today and throughout the rest of our work week. But before we go ahead and get into those details about your forecast, let's right now take a look at conditions on those roadways. Heading from Ocean Drive down to SPID and on Saratoga, all three of those roadways are moving pretty clear right now with those shades of green, indicating that there's no traffic issues right now on those roadways. Heading on over to Flower Bluff, a little bit of a slightly different story. Got some congestion throughout portions of Waldron Road, so you can see a little bit with that shade of orange there, indicating there's some slower speeds, so just make sure you are aware of that. All clear though on Flower Bluff Drive, and a little bit of a mixture of medium to slow speed now, of heavier buildup of congestion now as you get a little bit closer towards the gate at NAS Corpus Christi. Then heading on over towards the JFK Causeway, you can see all shades of green on that roadway and that bridge going to and from the island, indicating that you can expect nice, easy driving conditions heading out the door to and from the island for you on this Monday morning. More details we expect in your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Julia, thank you. Now on to our state capitol, folks, where Democratic members of the State House of Representatives have left town to try to prevent Republicans from rewriting the state's congressional map. Democrats say that if redistricting happens, their party could potentially lose 5 U.S. House seats ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. Republicans currently hold a razor-thin majority in the House of Representatives. State GOP members argue redistricting is necessary. They say the current maps are unconstitutional and racially gerrymandered. The House needs a quorum to advance the measure. Scripps News Group Joe St. George will join us at 6:12 with the very latest. Well, the National Conference of State Legislators is set to host a summit in Boston starting today. It's a time when state lawmakers from across the country come together to discuss some of the biggest challenges facing their areas, as well as network with one another. Some of the key topics up for discussion this year include the potential opportunities and risks of artificial intelligence, healthcare, policy, election security, and so much more.
Here in your neighborhood, Corpus Christi police are investigating a shooting that happened at a house party on the south side. This one happened just before midnight Saturday at a home on Beauvais Drive. When police arrived, they found a 19-year-old man with gunshot wounds. Medics took him to the hospital with serious injuries. A second victim showed up at a hospital separately with less serious injuries. Investigators say the shooting happened during a disturbance at a large party filled with underage youth. Police believe the people involved knew each other, and the homeowners who hosted the party now face charges for giving alcohols to minors. But if you have any information, you are asked to call police at 361-886-2840 or Crime Stoppers at 361-888-TIPS. Now, there was a second shooting that shut down the Corpus Christi Trail Ride event on the west side. Around midnight Saturday morning, several departments responded to a shooting in the area of Old Brownsville Road. When officers arrived, they found 2 gunshot victims, a 32-year-old female and a 25-year-old male. Those victims were taken to local hospitals. This is an ongoing investigation, and anyone with information should contact Sergeant Gilberto Saenz at 361-887-2216.
And for those of you who travel to the Houston and Victoria areas, there are some changes that will happen to US 77. Before changes are made, though, TxDOT wants your feedback. They will be hosting 2 public hearings for the public to attend and watch a video presentation and then ask some questions. The first one will be August 20th from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. over at the Refugio County Expo Center. The second one will be on Thursday, August 21st from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. over at the Woodsboro School Cafeteria. Both hearings are in person. A virtual hearing will be posted online Wednesday afternoon for people who are unable to attend.
Happening today in Kingsville, the unveiling of a memorial wall will be held in honor of Border Patrol Javier Vega Jr. It will take place this morning at 8 at the Kingsville United States Border Patrol Station, and that's located at 2422 East Carlos Truan Boulevard. Vega was shot and killed on August 13, 2014, near Santa Monica, Texas, while attempting to stop a robbery while he was fishing with his family.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Monday. Heading out the door, you're going to be greeted with that warm air here, still settled in the coastal bend. It's going to lead towards more of those near record high temperatures that we'll experience later on this afternoon. Before we go ahead and get into that, let's quickly recap what we saw over this past weekend. On Saturday, we saw a record high temperature of 102 degrees. So we saw record breaking high temperatures to begin our weekend. And we ended our weekend yesterday on Sunday with near record high temperatures reaching 100 degrees, just 1 degree shy of tying our old record set back in 2009 of 101 degrees. So again, that heat is really proving itself here. It's still summertime in the coastal bend. It's definitely feeling like it as our forecast continues to range with those near record or record breaking high temperatures right now since that we saw this past weekend. But right now, going ahead and take a look at your conditions heading out the door. Corpus Christi sitting at 76 degrees, 78 over in Beeville, 82 degrees is your temperature over in Port Aransas and in Rockport. Still having lighter wind speeds to start us off this morning, barely reaching towards 10 miles an hour winds coming from the southeast over in Flower Bluff. And thankfully, with this moisture still in place, looking at pretty decent visibility across the majority of our neighborhoods to start us off this morning as well. Taking a look at our hour-by-hour forecast, we'll see a couple passing clouds to kick us off on this Monday morning, but then decreasing over the course of the day, allowing for more sunshine all throughout the morning and heading towards this upcoming afternoon. Temperatures already approaching those low 90s by midday at 11 o'clock, so that already lets you know that today's going to be a spicy day in terms of those temperatures really kicking up. And we'll eventually have an afternoon high temperature of 99 degrees here in Corpus Christi. So again, still looking at sweltering, sizzling conditions in the forecast, but we still have a small chance to see a couple passing showers potentially with a small wrinkle happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere. But either way, that heat's still going to be packing a punch, reaching towards those 110s or slightly above throughout some neighborhoods. So we could still see that range of potentially needing some heat alerts going to effect for us potentially today. My graphic doesn't seem to want to cooperate with me, but it should be showing that we have a bit of a mixture of that moderate to major risk of heat danger expected to be in the forecast today, along with our rain chances really starting to pick up for us late in the day today, heading mostly in towards the evening hours by the time folks are starting to maybe get off of work and make their way on home, especially for northern neighborhoods nearby Beeville, seeing a chance to see some isolated to scattered showers potentially with a rumble of thunder too expected because of that small wrinkle of moisture coming into the upper levels of the atmosphere. But other than that, another repeat of that potentially ahead for us tomorrow on your Tuesday with more sunshine and temperatures reaching those upper 90s.
Thanks, Julia. Coming up after the break, Scripps News Group's Joe St. George joins us with more on the Democrats' fight against gerrymandering. Welcome back, folks. 6:12 is your time on this Monday morning. We're giving you a live look from our studio Skycam, looking at downtown Corpus Christi. And be checking in with meteorologist Julia Quady. She is standing by with our Monday morning forecast. But first, we have some news from the state capitol, where Democratic members of the State House of Representatives have left town to try to prevent Republicans from rewriting the state's congressional map.
Now, to talk more about this, we bring in Scripps News Group Joe St. George, who's in Washington, D.C. Good morning, Joe. So could the Democrats fleeing the state actually help block the change to the state's map? And can you also remind our viewers of the consequences they face?
Well, the consequences are significant, and especially given what Governor Abbott has released in the last several hours. You're talking about $500 per day fines. Now, the last time Democrats fled Texas to try and prevent a quorum from happening at the Texas State House, they were gone for more than 30 days. So you add $500 up, that adds up. But because of the way you can fundraise in Texas, that may be the least of House Democrats' worries. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is saying, and I'm just quoting a statement from the governor's office now, any member who fails to return to the Texas state capitol by 3 p.m. today, I, the governor, will invoke Texas Attorney General opinion to remove the missing Democrats from membership in the Texas House. So what are we talking about here? The governor's basically saying if these Texas House Democrats, who many of them are in Illinois and New York right now, if they're not back in Austin at the Capitol by 3 p.m. Central Time today, the governor could declare their offices vacant. This would set up a major clash in the courts. All of this transpiring as the threat of violations of legal consequences. The governor also says that these Democrats may be in violation of certain felony laws in the state of Texas. The Attorney General, Ken Paxton, has gone on social media and threatened with arresting these Democrats. So we've been talking about this for weeks, and that's because all of this was brewing. It brewed in the last 24 hours. National Democrats, where I'm at in Washington, they're releasing statements saying that they have these Texas lawmakers' backs. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, Governor Hochul of New York, they're really leading this effort of taking in these House Democrats. As a reminder of everything that's at stake here, right? President Trump believes that by redrawing the lines in Texas, it could yield 5 more Republican seats in Texas after next year's midterm elections. That could impact control of the U.S. House of Representatives for the remainder of President Trump's presidency. This is why this is not just a Texas story. It is a national story. So we'll be following this throughout the day. We've got to set our alarms, guys, for 3 p.m. Central Time to see if Governor Abbott actually does what he is threatening to do, and that is remove these Democrats from office. And if you're wondering, what is all this about? Just a quick 15-second refresher on the rules. Democrats can't block laws from becoming law in Texas because they're a minority party, but they can prevent a quorum in the Texas State House from occurring. You need 100 members of the Texas State House to be present to conduct business by fleeing the states. That is what Democrats in Texas are preventing. They're preventing a quorum in the State House. So guys, a big story ahead. We'll be keeping our eyes on Austin, reaction from Washington throughout the day.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for your time today, though, Joe.
Yeah, we appreciate your insight. Looking forward to talking again tomorrow about it.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Monday. Heading out the door, you're going to be in for a warm greeting from our temperatures already reaching towards those upper 70s to low 80s. So it's already off to a warm start for us on this Monday. And we're expecting more of the same conditions that we saw this past weekend expected for us today. On Saturday, we saw record high temperatures reaching 102 degrees, beating our old record. And then on Sunday, we saw near record high temperature, just 1 degree shy of tying that record high temperature of 101 degrees set back in 2009. So we're in for more of the same. So right now, let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions right now. First, getting a view of our Snoopy's Pier Sky Cam sponsored by CCAC can make out some small, subtle hints of that sunrise just right now beginning across the JFK Causeway there in the horizon, but we're seeing a couple passing clouds. It's going to linger throughout portions of the morning before it completely clears out by the time we head towards midday by this afternoon, eventually looking at mostly sunny to just full-blown sunny skies later on in the day. But like I said, a bit of a warm start, reaching with those temperatures in those upper 70s to lower 80s across the area. So things are already starting to gradually warm up for us temperature-wise, eventually reaching, though, that afternoon high temperature of 99 degrees here in Corpus Christi. So still going to be in store for that sweltering, sizzling heat in the forecast. But small caveat here, along with this intense and brutal heat, we have a small wrinkle in the upper levels of the atmosphere that could push on through, especially for northern neighborhoods, giving us a chance to see a couple passing showers, maybe some thunderstorms possible later on this evening. Right now, they're looking at our feel like temperatures by this afternoon. Once again, we're talking those temperatures reaching towards those 100s or up to 110 degrees here in Corpus Christi, over in Sinton, as well as the Bluff. So just near that range, we maybe once again could see that need of having heat alerts potentially going into effect for us today, as we saw this past weekend. Either way, though, that heat's still dangerous, so you still want to make sure you're practicing heat safety regardless. But looking at our rain chances over the next 24 hours, starting to increase a little bit after lunchtime. Again, mostly for inland neighborhoods. Areas along the coast have some potential to see some rain action as well, but better chances really look to happen along the evening hours, around 6 o'clock, around when folks maybe start to make their way on home. Now, again, mostly for northern neighborhoods, as those showers will be coming in from the north, slowly making their way further on south. So right now, better rain chances look to happen for more northern counties and neighborhoods here in the coastal bend. More rain chances potentially ahead for us tomorrow and Tuesday, but still looking to be very hot and sunny throughout most of our week.
Thanks so much, Julia. Coming up on Sunrise, I'll give you a look at the cheapest prices around the Coastal Bend. Welcome back, folks. It's the start of the week, which might mean it is time to fill up that gas tank. And the cheapest prices around the Coastal Bend, well, they are in store for you. I'm also taking a look at the national prices, which is what we'll start at. For a gallon of gas, according to Gas Buddy, $3.12 is the average. That's going to be down by 3 cents since Friday. As for the Lone Star State, we're sitting at $2.72 is the average, which is down by 4 cents since Friday. But hey, you can do better here in the Coastal Bend, though, right, folks? Taking a look at Corpus Christi specifically, the third place spot goes to the HEBs, both of them, the one on Alameda and the one on Castores at $2.51. The second place and first place, it's really more a general area, as most of those gas stations in these areas have the same prices. We're talking about most of them on Flower Bluff. I think there's only one that isn't sitting at $2.49, as well as most of the stations on the city's south side, especially near that Yorktown area. $2.49 there. So if you don't see those prices, or cheaper actually, in those areas, maybe drive a block or two and you'll find them. Let's take a look at our Portland friends. The cheapest price that I was able to find on Gas Buddy is $2.42 over there at the Valero on Billy G. Webb. Keep in mind, though, these prices may change during the day, too. This one was last updated a day ago. So if you are on the island, it looks like most stations are in agreement with $2.59, except for the two stations which are near Whitecap. They're charging an extra 3 cents a gallon. As always, if you can find any cheaper prices than the ones I have mentioned, might be worth stopping and filling up while you can.
Alrighty, good morning. Taking a live look outside now for our first Community Bank Sky Cam atop the USS Lexington. We can make out some of those passing clouds in our skies right now, but focusing on that traffic flow, things are moving well both on the new and old harbor bridges. You can see there's pretty decent traffic flow happening in both directions there with no hiccups in sight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the traffic flow maps now to see what you can expect on other roadways for your Monday morning commute. Heading on Ocean Drive down to SPID and on Saratoga, all three of those roadways moving well for you this morning with no issues. Heading on over to Flower Bluff, pretty much for the most part same thing. A bit of a mixture of median speed that you're going to see heading in both directions though on Waldron Road. All clear on Flower Bluff Drive, and got some improvement now when you get to the gate at NES Corpus Christi. Earlier you were looking at more of a medium to slow speed and heavier congestion, but now this has since started to clear up now. Then heading onto the JFK Causeway, going to and from the island, also looking at pretty easy driving conditions there as well. That's it for your traffic report, but details in your forecast coming up.
I'm John Matarese. It's the end of an era with Sunday coupon inserts going away, but there's still plenty of ways to save on your favorite everyday products. If you know where to search, we'll show you some of them.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Monday. Welcome on back. Taking a live look outside now off our Snoopy's Pier Sky Cam, sponsored by CCAC, where you can see we're getting a bit of a mixture of some passing clouds right now in our skies to kick us off on this Monday morning. You can see some small, gorgeous hints of that sunrise beginning over the horizon as well. It's going to be yet another hot day for us here in the Coastal Bend. If you remember what we had this past weekend, we saw record-breaking high temperatures on Saturday, near record high temperatures on Sunday, and more of the same for us in store on this Monday, with a dash of some chances of seeing some rain later on the forecast by this evening. More details on that in the next few moments. So let's go ahead and take in on what we can expect in our forecast for this week at large. So again, looking at some small rain chances for the start of this work week, just early on before things start to dry on out. We're still looking at that extension of some dry heat in place for us, so we're going to still see near record high temperatures continue in the forecast, as well as dangerous heat index values, otherwise known as our feel-like temperatures, still reaching into the 110s, just near that criteria. We could see some heat alerts potentially being issued and being necessary, and that's just what happened, of course, if you remember this past weekend. So we're still in for those same type of conditions being prolonged in the forecast for us in our work week as well. But let's go ahead and get into what else you can expect right now waking up, heading out the door. It's going to be a warm start. Temperatures reaching into the upper 70s to low 80s across the area. Of course, those 80s will be mostly directed for areas that are along the coast, because of course you guys are a little bit more closer towards the water, so that moisture and humidity is going to allow your temperatures to fluctuate a bit and be a little bit on the higher side until those lower 80s 90s versus more inland neighborhoods sitting into those upper 70s. Right now, looking at our planners, again, starting with some passing clouds you saw on our sky cam just a moment ago, will clear out for more sunny conditions by the time we reach towards midday and by this afternoon. Temperatures also increasing towards those lower 90s, eventually reaching those mid to upper 90s over the course of our afternoon. So again, still looking at dangerous heat remain to be in the forecast, with our wind speeds coming still in a bit of a lighter fashion, maybe barely increasing towards 15 miles an hour as we approach the early evening hours. Looking at our feel like temperatures, like I said, still going to be dangerous in terms of where our heat index values will be falling, reaching into the 100s and up towards the 110s in areas like Flower Bluff, Sinton, as well as here in Corpus Christi. So depending on whether or not we hold on to that temperature or exceed that for 2 hours or more, that's what's going to dictate whether or not we see those heat alerts, specifically heat advisories, potentially go into place for us. Either way, you still want to make sure you're practicing heat safety to keep yourself on the safe side. But here's those line of showers that could come on in for mostly northern neighborhoods. Can see it could get heavy at times throughout portions of Aransas and Refugio counties, maybe B County getting hit on that action as well. Alice may be seeing a passing shower around 5 o'clock this evening. The same line is going to continue to push on through around 6 o'clock this evening. Again, mostly the folks who are going to see some of the shower activity from the small wrinkle in the upper levels of the atmosphere will mostly be our northern neighborhoods. Then we'll all dry out as we look ahead towards 9, 10 o'clock tonight, with more showers anticipated as we look ahead towards tomorrow morning or your Tuesday. That could continue on a little bit in its fashion ahead for your Tuesday afternoon as well. Now, looking at our 6 to 10 day outlook, though, that heat's still not going to be going anywhere. We're still going to be looking at near record high temperatures expected to be in the forecast all throughout our work week this week, regardless if we see the shower activity ahead for us today or tomorrow. So you still want to make sure you're practicing heat safety. As I said, that heat's going to stick around with those temperatures still at least reaching into the upper 90s.
Julia, thank you so much. So we're continuing our series on the history of the Alamo. Coming up on Sunrise, how a woman from the coastal bend stepped up to save history.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, Chris 6 Sunrise team. We're Chemours in your neighborhood, and we want to wish our neighbors across the coastal bend a great morning and a great day.
Hey, well, good morning to you, everyone over at Chemours. We hope you guys have an amazing start to your week, and we also hope you guys have a wonderful day. And folks, if you want to send us your own shout out video, all you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen or go to our website, christv.com.
This is Coastal Bend History.
The fall of the Alamo on March 6, 1836 was the turning point in the battle for Texas's independence. But after the battles were over and the Republic of Texas was born, the old Spanish fort faded into history. In 1886, the 50th anniversary of the battle was largely ignored by the citizens of the growing city of San Antonio. And as a result, the Daughters of the Republic of Texas, an organization made up of descendants of veterans of the Texas Revolution, was founded in 1892 with the aim of preserving the Alamo and its grounds. By the early 1900s, the historic site was nothing more than a rundown series of old buildings on valuable land and was at risk of being demolished. The state of Texas agreed to buy the old church on the property in 1903, but none of the other land. That's when one of the daughters of the Republic of Texas, Adina de Zavala, the granddaughter of Lorenzo de Zavala, the first vice president of the Republic, reached out to Clara Driscoll for help saving the Alamo. Driscoll, whose grandfather had fought in the Battle of San Jacinto and owned a ranch in Nueces County, agreed to put up most of the $75,000 asking price for the land. The state legislature, impressed with those efforts, compensated the group and enacted legislation putting the site into the care of the Daughters of the Republic of Texas. Driscoll and Zavala argued over the fate of the long barracks. It had been neglected so long, Driscoll argued it would be better to tear it down. But Zavala argued it was an original part of the building and a vital part of Alamo history. The governor at the time sided with Zavala, asking that it be restored. In the end, the two compromised, removing the second floor of the building and rebuilding the walls of the first floor. In 1931, Clara Driscoll put up another $70,000 of her own money to buy even more of the land surrounding the Alamo site. She went on to become the president of the Daughters of the Republic of Texas and was named the vice chair of the Texas Centennial Exposition Executive Board, in which she made sure the Alamo received special attention. Driscoll donated to many causes, including founding Driscoll Children's Hospital, but her generosity and love for the Alamo earned her the name the Savior of the Alamo. At the time of her death in 1945, she was given the honor of laying in state at the Alamo Chapel. Because of her efforts, the Alamo has become one of the most popular tourist destinations in the country and is an important historic site, seeing 150,000 school children every year. The mission of telling the story of the Alamo continues to this day. And on our next Coastal Bend History segment, we'll look at the daily mission of the Alamo and look to its future. If you'd like to learn more about the Alamo, you can scan this QR code or just head to our website, christv.com. Until next time, I'm Andy Lascano.
Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. Here's what you can expect your forecast today at a glance here. Still looking at near record high temperatures expected, at least reaching towards those upper 90s. Can't rule out the chance that some neighborhoods could see their air temperatures reaching into those triple digits, along with our feel like temperatures ranging in that as well. So we're still looking at that dangerous heat in place, at least with those feel like temperatures again reaching towards the 110s under mostly sunny skies. But we do have some chance to see a couple isolated showers pass on through some neighborhoods here in the Coastal Bend by this afternoon, mostly towards the evening hours by 5 and 6 o'clock. Either way, though, that heat's still going to be in store for us for this afternoon, at least reaching an afternoon high temperature of 99 degrees. Going to see lots of sunshine in store for us all throughout the day today. Light winds coming from the southeast, barely making its way towards 15 miles an hour or even 16 miles an hour as we look ahead towards 6 o'clock tonight. Now, all of us aren't going to get in on this rain action. It's not going to be super beneficial in terms of how much accumulation we're expecting from this rain event. It's going to be subtle at best, but again, showers are expected by this evening, could linger into tomorrow as well before things dry out with more sunshine and temperatures in those upper 90s.
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of non-stop news.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of non-stop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. We'll check in with meteorologist Julia Quady in just a bit. But first, we head to the state capitol where Democrats have fled to Chicago to prevent Republicans from rewriting the state's congressional map. Reed Binion has the latest.
We did not make the decision to come here today. We did not make that decision lightly.
Texas State House Democratic Caucus Chair Gene Wu in Chicago Sunday, explaining the decision by State House Democrats to leave Texas to prevent a vote on the Republican effort backed by President Donald Trump to redraw the state's congressional map.
We come here today with absolute moral clarity.
The proposal could possibly eliminate 5 Democratic U.S. House seats ahead of the 2026 midterms. Democrats' decision to leave the state Sunday temporarily blocks Republicans from moving forward on the plan by denying them a quorum. The Texas Constitution requires 2/3 of the state House be present to conduct legislative business. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker joined dozens of the Texas Democrats Sunday night in Chicago. Others traveled to Boston and some to Albany, New York. Texas Republicans justified the redistricting by citing concerns the current maps are unconstitutional and racially gerrymandered. Democrats have said it would suppress the votes of people of color, and they've vowed retribution in blue states where they control the district boundaries.
I'm sick of the gerrymandering, but if Donald Trump is going to push to gerrymander Texas, if they're doing something to add their congressional seats, we need to look at our ways of doing that right now.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The Beeville Police Department is under a microscope right now. I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Victoria Valderrama. I came out here to learn more about the vacant assistant police chief position. It's brought up some questions and concerns. The Beeville Police Association is sounding the alarms. This organization, made up of personnel within the Beeville Police Department, took to Facebook, posting about a recent budget workshop meeting with the Beeville City Council. The group expresses disappointment, saying City Council voted to defund the Assistant Chief of Police position.
I'm gonna instruct you, John, to move the funding for the Assistant Chief of Police position back into the general fund.
That's Councilman Benny Puente at Tuesday's budget workshop meeting. City Manager John Benson was also in the room. They both met with me to discuss the city's budgeting process for the coming year.
So with the assistant police chief position being open, that's an opportunity to look at, is that the best use of those dollars, or could they be used in a more impactful way within the department with other staff in a different staffing level?
The former assistant police chief retired. That's a salary of $76,000.
There's some misunderstanding that it wasn't defunding the police department. That defunding takes on a whole different meaning.
In response, the Beeville Police Association sent this statement. Quote, "We're not here to stir controversy. We're here to stand up for what's right, for our department, for our officers, and for every member of the Beeville community. We invite residents to contact their council members and make their voices heard, as well as being open to communication with the current city council. Public safety should never be negotiable," end quote. No final decision has been made yet as Beeville City Council continues discussions on what happens next. The budget workshop meeting is held every Tuesday and the public is invited to participate. The last meeting will be on August 25th. In Beeville, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Victoria Valderrama, for Chris 6 News.
Victoria, thank you so much. So state lawmakers have approved a $13 million pilot program to reduce the number of unvaccinated animals and prevent the spread of brucellosis. Brucellosis is a disease that can spread through to humans through contact with infected animals and their fluids. Melissa Muchetti runs a nonprofit and tells neighborhood news reporter Alexa Scott she wants to educate others about spaying and neutering their animals to decrease the spread.
And it was communicable through her bodily fluids. And so by that time we had all been contaminated because we had touched all her bodily fluids, we had touched the puppies. Please take it seriously and spay and neuter your dog.
The nonprofit is waiting for final approval from Governor Abbott, and once given the green light, the program could be implemented before the end of the year.
Hey there, good morning, happy Monday. Heading out the door, you're going to be greeted by a warm hug, so to speak, as Michelle would say, in terms of how warm it's going to feel to your body outdoors, starting you off on this Monday morning, but it's going to be nothing compared to how things are going to feel by this afternoon, with more of those near record high temperatures and very dangerous heat index values expected to be in the forecast today. But before we go ahead and get into that, let's right now take a quick look on what's going on in the tropics right now. Things are starting to get a little bit more active, so let's go ahead and break down what's happening at the moment. We have this new area of interest that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring off the southeast portion of Florida right now, just nearby Jacksonville. Only going to have a 30% chance of formation over the next 7 days, but we'll continue to monitor what's going to happen with that system. Also, just a quick update too, we do have Tropical Storm Dexter that is just north of Bermuda, not expected to do much of anything, eventually fizzle out throughout the northern portions of the Atlantic. But we also have another tropical wave that's off the west coast of Africa that's forecasted to have a 50% chance of formation over the next 7 days. Right now, none of these tropical waves are of any threat to us here at home in the coastal bend, but just two areas of interest that we're just monitoring along with the National Hurricane Center at the moment. But again, here at home, waking up, temperatures reaching towards those upper 70s to lower 80s for areas that are along the coast, off to yet another warm start for us on this morning, as we can anticipate things to really heat up as we head towards this afternoon. Expecting a high temperature of 99 degrees in Corpus Christi, still looking at sizzling, sweltering heat that will be in store for today, along with the chance to see some rain showers potentially coming to forecast for more inland and northern neighborhoods by this evening. I'll show you more of a better view on that in just a moment, but first taking a look at those dangerous feel-like temperatures that are going to be in store for us for this afternoon. Most of us reaching well into those 100s, maybe reaching to the 110s, just nearby that criteria. That means we could need heat alerts potentially being issued for us today, just like as we saw over this past weekend. But moving on towards our rain chances, we can see those begin to increase a bit over the course of our afternoon, really mostly during our evening hours around 6 o'clock, maybe around that time time frame that folks are leaving work, making their way on home, especially for northern neighborhoods nearby Beeville, B County at large, as well as Refugio and Aransas counties, seeing a better chance of those isolated to scattered showers anticipated during the early evening. And then all of us will see a decrease of our rain chances to maybe stray at best over the late evening hours into the overnight. But today's not our only chance to see some shower activity. We can see a repeat of that ahead for us tomorrow, with again some small chance to see some shower activity during the morning and during the course of our afternoon and evening hours on your Tuesday. So it's going to give us a bit of a dip in our temperatures. Still going to be in those upper 90s, but it's not quite as high as we expect things to be for us today across the majority of the coastal bend. But after this short rain event, so to speak, that we're going to see today and tomorrow, that's just going to be pretty much it. We'll still be looking at high temperatures reaching to those upper 90s. Drier heat will kind of settle in towards the midweek, but either way, still looking at dangerous conditions and summertime heat here in the coastal bend.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
All right, folks, if you're a fan of the great outdoors, today will be a good day to visit a national park. In honor of Great American Outdoors Day, the National Park Service will be waiving the entry fee to any of its parks on August 4th. It's to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Great American Outdoors Act. President Trump signed it into law in 2020. It has helped support large-scale infrastructure projects and renovations to campgrounds in some of the nation's most beloved parks, including Yellowstone and Yosemite.
The state's tax-free weekend is this week from Friday, August 8th to midnight Sunday, August 10th. All back-to-school items will be sales tax-free. Shoppers will save about $8 for every $100 spent. Tax-free items include things like school supplies, clothing, shoes, and backpacks priced under $100. Items placed on layaway will also be sales tax-free.
Well, the city of Corpus Christi is taking measures to help neighbors beat that heat during the week. There will be cooling centers available at all public libraries and senior centers throughout the city. There's also going to be free CCRTA transportation to the closest center to your location.
The unveiling of a memorial in honor of Border Patrol Javier Vega Jr. will take place this morning in Kingsville. It will start at 8 at the Kingsville United States Border Patrol Station. That's located at 2422 East Carlos Truan Boulevard. Vega was shot and killed on August 13, 2014, near Santa Monica, Texas, while attempting to take action during a robbery while he was fishing with his family.
Well, utility improvements along Ocean Drive will begin this week and could impact your commute in that area. The eastbound lanes of Ocean Drive between Country Club Drive and Ennis Johnson Road will be closed to through traffic. Residents will have local access within the closure. The intersection will be controlled with stop signs during the project. It's expected to last 30 days, weather permitting, that is.
And parts of West Broadway Street from Port Avenue to Lexington Avenue will be closed starting today so crews can install a water line tie-in. Local access will be maintained for residents and businesses in the affected area. Motorists are advised to seek alternate routes, and work is expected to finish up by Wednesday.
Alrighty, good morning. Taking a live look now off our Skycam over top SPID, because those roadways are beginning to get a little bit more busy as folks start to make their way on out the door, get their day started. Now, either way, things are still moving well in both directions on SPID, so you have no traffic concerns or issues to be worried about heading out the door if you're going to be on SPID at the moment. Let's go and take a look at the rest of Stratford Mass to see what else you can expect on other roadways across the area. Heading on the JFK Causeway going to and from the island, looking at easy driving conditions heading out the door. Moving on over to Flower Bluff, a little bit of a medium to slow speed that you're going to see heading in one direction on Walton Road, and still slower speeds as you get closer towards the gate at NAS Corpus Christi, but all clear for your drive heading on Flower Bluff Drive right now on Flower Bluff. Moving on over towards downtown, we saw on the Skycam things are moving well on SPID, and we can say the same on Ocean Drive as well as Saratoga right now, getting you started on this Monday morning. That's it for Traport. More details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you so much, Julia. So SmartSource has officially retired their coupon insert, ending a long tradition of paper coupons. Scripps News Group consumer reporter John Matarese has a quick look at the future of couponing in the digital age.
Remember the coupon inserts that used to show up with the Sunday newspaper or days later at your front door? Well, those days are pretty much gone. But the good news is there are lots of ways to save big money on everyday items if you know where to look for digital coupons. When Laura Keitel walks into the grocery store these days, there's something she doesn't carry anymore: paper coupons.
I'm showing my age. I prefer the old paper coupons. I felt like it was more straightforward. Now I have to use my phone and my camera and scan, etc., instead of just having the paper in my hand.
Those paper coupons like these are all but gone. Now, the industry publication Coupons in the News reports that the weekly Smart Source coupon insert has just been officially retired. However, Kimberly Palmer with NerdWallet finds digital coupons found in apps are much easier to organize and use.
You can more easily sort by the category you're looking for, the type of store.
But she says the key is finding a coupon app you like.
You just have to find the one that works for you and then stick with it, because then you'll get prompted when there's a new coupon for an item that you usually buy.
For digital grocery coupons, Palmer suggests using apps like Flip and the Coupons app, while apps like Ibotta and Rakuten offer cashback deals. Browser extensions offer yet another way to save, but they do gather your personal data and follow your online shopping habits. Palmer also advises clipping coupons from your store's app.
And then you want to add on to that coupon apps. You want to layer in all of those savings, because that will really make it so you're saving as much as possible.
Mom Destiny Locke misses paper but says,
I like my phone more. It's more convenient.
That way you don't waste your money. John Matarese, Scripps News Group.
Well, Scripps News has teamed up with, Chris 6 News rather, I guess, and Scripps News. We've teamed up together with the Humane Society, the Gulf Coast Humane Society, for the Clear the Shelter initiative.
Yes, so that means every day this week will feature some of the pets that you can bring home. First up, we have Moana. Moana is a 5-year-old female Doberman mix, and she's a sweet girl full of love. She's the cuddle queen, too, who just wants to be by your side no matter what you're doing. So if you are looking for a loyal companion, Moana is the girl for you. She has been at the Humane Society since July 29th of last year.
How could you not want that face? Well, Moana's adoption fees have been waived too, folks. We really need to help Moana find that home. You can go meet Moana today over at the Gulf Coast Humane Society, located at 3118 Cabanis Parkway. That's a great time for early morning dog walks, by the way, too.
Yeah, exactly. So I say go grab Moana and then go for a dog walk, right? The weather should be okay for it.
Yes, for sure. During the morning hours. Yeah. By the afternoon, I don't think anyone, including Moana, is going to want to be outdoors in this intense, dangerous heat that we still have to see in the forecast for us today. As we saw this past weekend, I don't know if you guys remember, we saw record high temperatures reached on Saturday, near record high temperatures on our Sunday, and today on our Monday, we got more of the same for us in store. So let's go ahead and take a look at what you can expect in your forecast today here at a glance. Like I said, near record high temperatures still expected in the forecast today, at least reaching into the upper 90s. Can't rule out the chance that some neighborhoods could see their temperatures once again trickling their way into those triple digits for our air temperatures, not even just for our feel-like temperatures that will still be in that dangerous range, with our heat index value still expected to reach at least nearby 110 degrees, if not slightly above that. So still nearby that criteria where we could see some heat alerts or at least heat advisories potentially being issued today. But what's going to be positive for us in our forecast is a chance to see some showers coming in, maybe some isolated thunder showers that could make their way throughout northern neighborhoods and counties here in the coastal bend. I'll give you more details about that in the next few moments. Right now, let's go ahead and introduce our star for today for our dog walking forecast. We got Heinz here, and Heinz, and like we mentioned with Moana, will want to get that dog walk done earlier and sooner rather than later, just because this is just going to be the most comfortable part of our day with those cooler temperatures, so to speak, in terms of that humidity and our air temperatures not reaching into those double digits in the 90s or into those triple digits potentially as well. So right now, feeling comfortable enough into those low 80s across the morning, only starting to approach to those lower 90s by 11 o'clock in the morning under mostly sunny skies. And then by the afternoon, lunchtime, already talking about our temperatures already reaching at least towards 94 or 95 degrees, just a few degrees shy of our afternoon high temperature being forecasted for us here in Corpus Christi at 99 degrees. So again, still looking at sizzling, sweltering heat in store for us today in the coastal bend, along with our rain chances like I just mentioned a moment ago, especially for more inland and northern neighborhoods that we can anticipate later on this evening. Looking at our feel-like temperatures, like I mentioned, those will be reaching towards at least the 108 degrees over the course of our afternoon. Won't be surprised if here in Corpus Christi or other neighborhoods, though, reach into 110 degrees or maybe a little bit more over the course of our afternoon as that moisture and humidity continues to kick on in. Look at our rain chances, though, for this evening. We'll start to see them kind of pick up, though, over the course of our afternoon, maybe stray at best but then isolated scattered showers that will be possible mostly again for northern neighborhoods. So I'm talking about B County, portions of Aransas and Refugio counties, maybe seeing a line of showers and thunderstorms that will pass on through over the course of the early evening hours when folks maybe start to make their way on home. Then things will start to dry out late into the evening, into the overnight, but we'll see a return of those rain chances coming in ahead for us on our Tuesday morning and still lingering throughout parts of the afternoon as well. So we'll see a bit of a cooler temperature potentially ahead for us on our Tuesday in relation to that. But other than that, still looking at temperatures remain to be in the upper 90s with a lot of sunshine on the way towards the second half of your work week.
That's all we got to focus on, right? The sunshine, the brighter side of things, especially to start the week.
Although it is important to remember, you mentioned that real feel is like 110.
Yes, yes. So practice that heat safety.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much for starting up your week and your day with us. We hope you have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.